So hello and welcome to the GITEX Tech Waves podcast, where we bring you the latest trends and innovations in the shifting tides of tech worldwide. Now, I'm Georgia Tolley, and today we're welcoming into the studio Dr. Aloysius Cheang, who is Chief Security Officer of Huawei Middle East and Central Asia. They are, of course, a leading global provider of information and communications technology infrastructure and, of course, those smart devices. Now, in 2024, Huawei is returning even bigger to GITEX Global, the world's largest tech and startup event, taking place from the 14th to 18th of October at the Dubai World Trade Center. And today we're going to be diving into the complex world of cybersecurity in the telecom industry. We're going to discuss the threats to that industry and how companies and end users can be protected. Dr. Aloysius, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you join us. And we're really looking forward to getting your insights on Huawei and its position within the global tech space. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time as well, Georgia. It's absolutely my pleasure to be here.
Now, of course, Huawei has multiple capabilities. You work across telecom, IT, cybersecurity, cloud solutions. You've also got those high-end devices. I remember an interview a few years back where you suggested that you're one of the few large enterprises to have never been targeted or never successfully targeted by a cyber attack. How on earth have you managed that? And has that winning streak continued?
Just to be truthful to you, cybersecurity was really on our cards before 2011. But on 2011, we have published our first cybersecurity strategy, and then we reinforced that with another roadmap in 2018, and right now we're into our third master plan. And in all this master plan, it all starts from putting yourself into a very strong position, meeting compliance requirement. That was in the first master plan, and in the second master plan, then we set up to plan and develop end-to-end cybersecurity assurance systems that put cybersecurity into every part of the organization and every department and every person, so that everyone is engaged. It becomes a culture of security. To today, we actually positioning cybersecurity as a very strategic asset within the company that we are positioning as even as an enabler for our businesses.
I remember hearing at a conference once somebody say that within your company, any company, every company, cybersecurity has to be everyone's concern. It can't just be the role of the tech guys. Would you agree with that statement?
In fact, that is part of what I have mentioned earlier, to build cybersecurity into a culture for the company. So it becomes part of your corporate culture, it becomes part of your DNA. And it's not easy to get there, because the first thing that you need to do is to get senior management endorsement. So as we started this journey, our founder and CEO at that time, still our CEO right now, Mr. Ren, he mentioned that cybersecurity is our topmost priority within the company, and it should never be superseded by any commercial interest. Today, they have changed slightly to become a crucial strategy to adapt to the fact that we are using cybersecurity as a business enabler. But in the past, it is our topmost strategy, and there's no discussion, right? It cannot even be outweighed by commercial interests. And he has sanctioned a $2 billion investment into a trustworthy computing transformation for the company, where we actually re-engineer every component, every part of the company, such that security is imbued in a security first, privacy first approach, that it must be baked in right from day one. So this is something that we have built and come a long way in the past 6 to 8 years as we undertake this transformation.
That's immensely reassuring, I imagine, for your many millions of clients who are listening to this. I'm going to sort of zero in on your telecom industry for now, because it is such a key component in your library of what you have on offer, but of course for everyone every day. Do you, from your point of view, what would you say are the most sort of complex issues for both private and public sector when it comes to telecoms. Do you think that telecoms is the most vulnerable of all sectors for cyber attack?
Right. First of all, we have to acknowledge that telecommunication is a critical infrastructure. So if you cripple telecommunication, basically you're crippling the entire company, the entire country, or even company, if you want to refer to a corporate level, the way for it to function normally, right? So that is the reason why we should really focus a lot to protect this critical infrastructure, so that it will never go down, despite no matter what kind of attack has been that it has faced, and whatever threats that you may face in the future.
So I'm going to turn our attention now to artificial intelligence, because it's almost impossible to have, any conversation about tech, any conversation about any industry, really, without bringing up the impact of artificial intelligence. From a cybersecurity perspective, there's a bit of a double-edged sword there, isn't there? It's both a benefit, or it's both a friend and a foe, I suppose you could say.
Well, right now, the entire world is paving the way for intelligence to come. In fact, you can't have any conversation without having AI in the picture. But we need to be careful that as we chase the rainbow, right, we need to also make sure that our feet are firmly on the ground. So we need to build up the groundwork so that we can chase the future tech like AI, blockchain, and Web3 with solid foundation, with cybersecurity deeply rooted, such that it serves the purpose of protecting these digital assets. So it's very important that we have all the solid groundwork done first before we talk about that. And for AI, we have launched our first AI strategy actually way back in 2018, before the pandemic. And in fact, we have launched our big model in 2021 that we call Pangu. So Pangu is actually a name of a mythical god that created the universe in Chinese mythology.
Cool.
So we say that it starts from ground zero, and suddenly the god Pangu created the whole world in 7 days. Sounds a little bit similar, right?
It does.
So we name our big model after him, and this year at Huawei Connect just a week ago, we actually went full force into amplifying intelligence. So we actually look at how enterprise can be successful adopting AI in their strategy. So we call them the 6 A's. So they will have adaptive user experience, auto-evolving products, autonomous operation, augmented workforce, all connected resources, and AI native infrastructure. So these are the 6 A's that will be successful in as long as will be the consideration that you need to have in order to have a successful experience with implementing AI for your organization. So let me explain a little bit more about them, right? So when we talk about adaptive user experience, we are talking about how the enterprise will perceive and understand user behavior, requirement changes, and environment changes that will drive services that will best meet the user's need. That means that we are actually returning control to the user. So the user will have a different experience. Every different user will have a different experience using the product. Rightly so, because everyone is different. You will have your different individual taste and style, and that is what AI is for. And then we need to also make sure that these products, these AI products, are auto-evolving. Sounds a bit like, we are chasing after the Holy Grail, where, the products will auto adapt themselves, and improve themselves over a period of time from learning, from the experience of serving the customers.
You've got machine learning effectively there.
Actually, that's really, to the word machine learning, right?
Yeah.
But we also saw some movies that says that it's a bit scary, right?
Yes, I'm imagining robots that take over the world now.
well, Will Smith had the AI and robot, I think 20 years ago.
He
And
did.
recently there's some movies that are being shown right now in theaters that talk about an AI butler that take over control, right? So I wouldn't mention the name. But that is really what we're looking for, an auto and forever self-evolving products. And furthermore, we expect this product to be also autonomous in operations, right? We don't want even the hassle of plugging them to power themselves up over the night. We want them to auto-power themselves, right? We want them to everything to be autonomous, such that we only say, hey, get me that glass of water, and then or even before that, they can guess what you want. So the autonomous operation is another one that we think that is important, and workforce that will have an AI aid by your side that will help you, right? So right now we have ChatGPT. We have to use ChatGPT to do our homework, right?
Yes. Or write your essays.
Right. But what if you have like an avatar that sits on your shoulder 24/7 that will be helping you turn on the function or for you to help you in making your life easier? That is what we are also seeing, that the workforce is slowly also augmented by this AI avatar.
Will they be able to remind me of people's names when I forget them all the time?
That is what we are lacking right now.
Yeah, that's what I really want. I'd like it. Just a little whisper in my ear every time I meet somebody.
I would love that. And obviously, the other two will be all connected resources and AI native infrastructure. These are the baseline foundations that you need to have to support all these functions that I mentioned earlier. That is the results of an intelligent transformation. So the resources, how the entire supply chain is connected to serve you, as well as having infrastructure that are actually purpose-built for AI. AI native, that's how we call it AI native. That means that it's not an afterthought, but it's really built for the AI environment. And that will sort of improve efficiency and effectiveness rather than those that are products that you just download and plug in, and maybe it doesn't even work with your underlying infrastructure. So underlying infrastructure is very important. But earlier, Georgia, you did mention about it can get a bit scary, right? I mean, what if this AI, the security is not there, what should we be concerned about? So earlier I mentioned the infrastructure. So it's very important that we must also consider the computing backbone security, right? We must prevent, whatever is there, the computing platform, from being poisoned or taken away from us, right? And when we talk about poisoning, on the subject of poisoning, then we need to make sure that the big model that we build, have the security to avoid adversary attack. What I mean by adversary attack means that they train you with the wrong data, so that they are teaching you that a left is a right. So imagine if you turn on that mapping application that they gave you the wrong instruction, a left become a right. It is a recipe for disaster.
Well, absolutely. I mean, my car can already drive itself. The last thing I want it to do is to get it wrong and shoot me off a bridge.
And further to that, right, the model, the data that we feed in and we get it out, churn out, as part of the machine learning, we should also always prevent data leakages and poisoning. I mean, this is important in the sense that you do not want the wrong message to be leaked out to the public, that you do not want anyone else to have it. But more importantly is the data that you feed in must be also clean, right? Because data that is garbage in will come out as garbage as well. And today, our children are relying on these products to get their work done, right? And we want to teach them the right things, right? Earlier, my child was just talking about there was a bank that's coming. I will name the name, but she was having difficulty in booking for it.
Oh yeah, well it's Coldplay. I think it's okay. I think we can say it's Coldplay.
Coldplay, right?
Yeah.
No, I was asking her, do you get the right website? Is it Ticketmaster or somewhere else?
Yes, or have you chosen a website that's actually a fake website?
A fake website,
yeah, it's
right?
too easy to do,
and your
isn't
data
it?
will be leaked out. And that's why it leads out to a final missing piece of the puzzle, which is really application security, because all these applications that normally you come to trust, are they really something that you thought they are, or innocuously they may look the right McCoy, but maybe they are not.
Yeah.
So let me quote you an example, right? This is a popular example that was used 10 years ago, that I always use 10 years ago, because 10 years ago, there was this application that was very popular. It's called Pokemon Go.
I am familiar with Pokemon Go, absolutely. There were people running around. Is that the one when they ran around trying to find Pokemons all over the city?
Yes. Okay, so we have Pokemon Go all over the world, except one country. That's called China.
Oh, wow.
They don't have Pokemon Go.
They didn't let it happen there.
However, when you go to the store, you can download more than 20 to 30 different Pokemon Go programs, applications. So obviously they are fake.
Oh my goodness. And so therefore
they stole your account.
Yes.
And it's very hard to level up.
It is. It's very hard.
And they're selling that.
Wow. Okay. Well, that gives you a sense of just how bad the potential access can become, and not just from a moral or a sort of a security point of view, but from a commercial point of view.
Exactly. So this is some of the things that we have to grapple with in the future. If we're going to play with AI, we have to make sure that we design AI with security in mind. Okay, so we call it security for AI, but we also need to make sure that we have security for AI, but we also need to make sure that we have AI for security.
Absolutely. I like that circular vision there. I'm going to have to ask you, how soon do you reckon we'd have this home avatar, this home personal assistant that you sort of rather wonderfully, that image you painted for us a little earlier?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you, right? Because it's not available here. But as you know, we just launched our trifold phone.
Yes. It's amazing.
Right. So you actually come out with a trifold phone that was spread out the screen to about 10-inch. Yeah. Practically, it's almost like a laptop, because you also have a portable keyboard that goes with it.
Yeah. Oh, it looks very cool. I haven't actually managed to hold one yet, but
it's actually thinner than mine. This is a dual fold that was launched last year.
Yeah.
But this time around, they have it even thinner than this.
Amazing.
And it comes with that function you're talking about that has not been turned on yet. So the trifold phone actually have a way to project 3D image.
That's something from a movie.
In fact, okay, so we are romantic guys in Huawei, actually. A lot of, more than 54% of our staff are actually engineers. So they love to watch all those sci-fi movies, those Hollywood shows, that tells you that, hey, like Iron Man, you call the screen and you press in the air.
Yeah, you do this. And Minority Report, when Tom Cruise was like sweeping things to the left and the right.
So we are building that.
My goodness me. That must be fun. Your engineers must have a brilliant time at work.
Well, my engineers actually put it to full use. For example, we have 6 major business units. ICT is just one of them. We have cloud. Okay, providing cloud services. In fact, we are a major consumer of our own cloud services. We also have digital power. Consumer is the other one that everyone is very familiar with because of the phones and all the consumer products, the endpoint, the laptop, the 1 kg laptop and everything. But we also have one unit we call IAS. A bit secretive, but it actually stands for Intelligence Automotive Solution.
That sounds exciting.
We create the platforms for EVs, electric vehicles.
Autonomous electric vehicles?
Yes, we don't build the cars ourselves, but we work with car manufacturers to give them the platform that they can use it to build their EVs. Traditionally, right, German cars, they will make use of platform called from a company called Bosch. Yeah. So we're trying to be the Bosch of the future. Right? So in a way, we don't compete directly with Tesla, though indirectly through our various car manufacturers that we support. Even BYD is one of our partners in that. One of the new models they are developing is going to be developed using our platform. Okay, so in the platform, the engineers actually have a lot of innovation in this platform. One of a lot of the engineers, as I said, being romantic, so some of them, they never have a chance to go out for, courtship with their girlfriend, that
You
kind of
work
thing.
them so hard.
In our nice headquarters, they
Yes.
built like the European town
Yes.
thing in China. But we have actually 15 R&D labs all over the world, including places in Europe, like in Germany, in France, in Finland as well. But to cut the long story short, is that because of the lack of time to be with their girlfriend, so they built the car with inbuilt functions such that when they drive out, go have a short drive, they turn on the headlights, they can play movies of the headlight.
Oh, that is very cool. That's a very cool idea. Like your own
Movie theater.
Movie theater.
Movie theater.
Movie theater.
And they will have the headlight, which is LED headlight, that project different images like from flowers to birds and everything in the middle of the night against a starry night.
That is very cool. They are romantic. And actually, I want to talk to you about your engineers, because I want to talk about talent, because the industry is moving so quickly at the moment. Do you find it difficult to find engineers? Do you find it difficult to find enough qualified staff?
Georgia, this is a question that's begging the industry for years.
Yeah.
In fact, the world's largest cybersecurity professional association, IC Square, where I have the privilege of serving on the board in previous years. We have launched a report of the survey of the state of cybersecurity workforce for many years. So 3 years back, I think 4 years back, when we first published it, we are seeing a shortfall of 3 million cybersecurity professionals worldwide.
Goodness.
Today, the number almost 5 million.
So you lack 5 million cybersecurity qualified professionals.
It's a 4 point something million, but I just round it up.
Rounding up, don't worry. It's a big number. It's a big number. That's all we need to know. And I mean, how about here in the Middle East? How about here in the UAE, where there's a clear drive to try and become, an AI center, frankly?
Mm-hmm. So if you remember, a couple of years back, they have to churn out 100 programmers every other month, that kind of initiative. So Huawei has been working with Minister Olama as well as His Excellency Dr. Kweli to see how we can beef up the workforce for AI and security. So in Huawei, we actually have CSR initiative that see us work with universities all over the world to develop ICT academies. And in an initiative called Sit for the Future, we even contribute our know-how, our knowledge, as well as providing internship, as well as mentorship to young students. And recently, I just came back from HQ just a day ago, right? So this week, APAC just had a very huge event called Seed of the Future in HQ, where they brought students from universities all over APAC, go back for immersion educational tour in our HQ, where they learn some of the latest technologies through games, as well as through speeches and hands-on labs with our engineers. So we do have that working in the UAE, and in fact, I'm sitting on the panel for on the advisory board for some of the universities as we speak. That we are trying to inculcate more of our resources towards identifying not only the talent, but as a general rule of thumb is to build cybersecurity and AI as or for the matter, right, ICT as mandatory, introductory courses, level 100 courses that every student will probably benefit to attend from them, rather than choose them as elective.
So I'm going to focus on the future that those cybersecurity students are going to face, because there's a lot of conversations about AI at the moment. It's in every single headline, every single news story. But it won't be long before AI becomes quantum computing. And instead, everyone is talking about quantum computing. There are real concerns that quantum computers are going to destroy cybersecurity. And I use destroy, I know it's quite an emotional word, but the reality is that quantum computers will be able to break all the cybersecurity codes that are currently set up very, very quickly. And that whoever gets a quantum computer first is going to be able to do that. It's quite a sort of dystopian vision of the future if you don't fully understand it, and even maybe if you do fully understand it. How do you perceive the impact of quantum computing on cybersecurity? Is my short answer. This is my short question.
Well, it's no secret that countries are in a rat race to build up their capabilities in quantum computing. Right? From where I came from in Singapore, that was done as early as 2000.
Wow.
Right. In fact, before that, so I'm from the National University of Singapore. We have a quantum lab, even as we speak, in 1999 or something like that. We have that lab up already. So that was like way ahead, like 6 years ago. Goodness. So that's no secret, right? But then again, I don't know for other companies, but for Huawei, we always believe in leveling the playing field, because we believe that tech is for all. That's why we have Tech for All initiative, right? So we believe in an open, transparent, and collaborative environment, and making sure that the environment remains intact and conducive for development and consumption of new technologies. Okay, and where we hope that it will not create a digital divide, but rather we can actually reduce the divide through our initiative. So quantum computing, just like AI and other new technologies that come along the way. In fact, if we don't forget about it, it's still here because Meta is still called Meta, so we don't forget about Metaverse. So all this should be really something that should be owned by everyone. So today, the mantra is return the control to user rather than, have a centralized control over data. And data is the new oil, right? So quantum computing capability should be something that's available for all. So this is what we are building in our products and services to include quantum computing capabilities to protect our products from any hacking attempt, but at the same time to provide these quantum computing capabilities through our services, like for example through our cloud services, that people also can come to consume them, right? Because whether it's quantum or if we look a little bit back, cybersecurity, sometimes cybersecurity is a very expensive item on the budget list, right? So you can't keep a team of specialized cybersecurity experts if you are still a very small company, because they are expensive and it's very hard to upkeep. So one of the things that we do is we can provide these services through our managed services or through our cloud, that when you subscribe to them, you will have the services. And actually that is really the motivation for developing the development of cloud computing, because that actually stems from the belief that compute is a utility. So cybersecurity should be a utility. Quantum also should be a utility.
A level playing field. I really like that as a point for us to end. That's a very positive note, that all of these facilities, all of this tech should be for everyone, and Huawei wants to bring everyone along for the ride. Obviously, we're fast approaching GITEX. It is mere weeks away. Obviously, you probably go every year, probably have for years. What are you most excited about this year?
I think GITEX is really the big melting pot where you see companies, technologies, countries all coming together, regardless of race, language, or religion, all for the common good of building that platform that, as what I was saying earlier, to create a level playing field for all to benefit from this.
It's also very busy and very fun, and there's a lot to learn.
Exactly.
Dr. Aloysius, thank you so much. An absolutely fantastic interview. Really, really interesting. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us right here in the GITEX TechWaves studio.
Thank you, Georgia. Thank you very much.
And of course, if you want to see all of Huawei's innovations in one place, don't forget to check out their stand at GITEX Global 2024. Of course, taking place from the 14th to the 18th of October at DWTC right here in the UAE. And if you want to stay tuned for more updates, you can register at gitex.com. Please also subscribe and follow the event social media at GITEX Global. I will see you there.